Williams is more important than me. It is more important than Carlos, and it's more important than Alex. All three of us are basically working towards a goal of making this into a championship level. When we're there, we'll still create a construct that they can fight each other and race, but in a way that is supportive of the team, not against the team, to your point.
Yeah.
And that's I would say, the right way of doing it.
Now, the excitement continues because this weekend it is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. It is a very, very busy time with just hours to go before the weekend begins. All the teams are really working hard. They're fine-tuning the last few bits of the car and strategy and all of that, which is very surprising then that the team principal from Williams Racing decides, I'll just pop into the Chris Moyles Show. I'll have a chat. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Vowles is here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, James.
What an introduction. Yeah, indeed, you're probably right. There's probably some strategy to look at, but I have a great team doing that in the background.
Listen, I can help you with it.
Excellent.
I've got no experience in the game, right?
Perfect. I think
Drive
that's all the
faster and
qualification
better than everybody else.
Right.
Win the race.
Okay. I'll take that away. Do you want any remuneration for that? Or
No.
Okay.
Wow.
No.
This is a good deal.
You can have that for free.
Thank you.
Because I would imagine very little in the world of Formula One is free. It's not a cheap sport, is it?
No, not at all. It's a brilliant sport, but no, it is certainly one that comes with its cost.
James has been in Formula One for, if I've got this right, almost 25 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I don't look it, do I?
You don't look old enough, James.
That's right.
You
don't look old enough.
You're a very young man.
Yeah.
In my heart.
It's an amazing career. So you started with British American Racing, which then obviously ended up being Honda and then Braun and then more recently and famously Mercedes for a long, long time. And then coming up to about 2.5 years ago, James became the team principal at Williams Racing. Team principal, for those of you who are not into Formula One, basically means big boss man. So he's big boss man at Williams, who gets all the praise when it works and everybody stares at you if it doesn't work. It's pretty much right, accurate.
I think you've been incredibly, you summarised it well. Well done.
So I've made some notes. I've been really good, Dom. I've actually prepped for this interview.
This is good. This is very good.
9 years at Mercedes.
Just quickly, do you not normally prep?
It depends.
Well, James, it depends on the guest.
Right.
Because I could sit here and we could just talk rubbish for 20 minutes and that's fine. But Formula One fans would kill me if I didn't get a little bit nerdy.
Yes.
But then at the same time, if I do all nothing but nerdy questions, there'll be people who go, who is it? What's going on? Oh, he's the fella off the TV show. Right. So I've got to try and mix it up a little bit.
I love it. I like the prep.
So you basically, a lot of success at Mercedes. You were chief strategist and then you became motorsport strategy director.
All correct so far?
What's the difference between chief strategist and motorsport strategy director?
It was a mouthful of a title, wasn't it? Big difference was we branched out into Formula E, and it wasn't just doing race strategy and race weekends anymore. Now it was looking after our driver programs, simulator programs. So it was a step towards team principal, really, in that regard. It was more of a macro view of motorsport.
And then very, very successful, 7 drivers' titles, 8 constructors' championships, and then you thought, I think I'll leave and change teams. And the quote that's been given is you felt that you were becoming too comfortable and you wanted a challenge.
Yeah, it really is that. I get...
It was a company car, wasn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
That's
in reality...
They offered you the Fridays off.
Oh, I wish. I haven't had a Friday off for years. No, it was...
A new Astra and a Friday off. That's what it was.
They still make Astras.
I think they do. They're meant to be quite good, James.
Great cars.
It's not all F1.
I love Mercedes. We did everything that you could ever possibly dream of doing in the sport. It was when you join the sport, you're first of all just ambitious to get into Formula One, and then when you're in Formula One, you're ambitious to win your first race.
Of course.
And as you pointed out, with the Mercedes, we won, I think it's over 120 Grand Prix, more championships, all back to back, and it was an extraordinary time of my life. But it was also getting to the point where we were just fine-tuning minutiae detail.
Yeah.
And that's not me as a character. Me as a character, I really enjoy every day feeling like I've been made a difference and learned a huge amount. And I can assure you, I've done that in Williams. We're a very different part of the grid. But I needed a challenge that really inspired me every hour of every day. And that was the reason for making this huge leap.
Was there any doubt in your mind that because you're moving up to team principal, right? So you basically said that you were, to paraphrase, your team principal in waiting at Mercedes, arguably. Toto Wolff is not going to be going anywhere soon, most probably.
No.
So did you feel confident enough that you go, yeah, I think I know how to be a team principal at the right team. This is a good fit for me.
It's a good question. It's a heck of a step up. Toto was brilliant to me. He really did take me under his wing and provide me all the guidance and counsel. But to your point, he's incredibly good at what he does, and he's not going anywhere for many, many years, and nor should he, for that matter. There was definitely a gap in what I was doing, but I felt it was bridgeable. It was one that I would probably not sink and should be able to swim at that point in time. And so far, so good in that regard. But there were moments, definitely in the first few weeks, where I looked at some of the elements that I had to really pick up on quickly as a personal growth and get on with it. And wasn't expecting quite that gap.
Is it the kind of job where so there's two ways of doing a job, I always think, or three, right? One, you just know what you're doing. Two, you've no idea what you're doing and you blag it. Three, you got a fairly good idea, but the team that you work with works in a way where you go, how do we do this? What's the thing with this? If we want to, and you can literally look around you and reach out to people who are very, very good individually at what they do.
You nailed it. So I am so fortunate that around me, and the team's grown. I mean, we were 700 people, now 1,100. So I've been joined by peers some from Mercedes, some from Ferrari, Red Bull, all over the grid. I mean, that's about 400, 500 people that have joined our team. And it's that.
And are you, sorry to interrupt, because Williams compared to some of the bigger teams, it's a small, numbers wise.
Yeah, exactly that. So Williams, just in a quick nutshell, is still top 3 most successful team in the sport, which seems incredible, but we haven't had success for, let's be straightforward, 20 years, ballpark. If we really had to summarise my job, it's this. You need the right drivers. I think we're in a good place there. You need the right power unit. So we're provided by Mercedes. I have a good affiliation with them. It's a fantastic...
Do you get a discount?
Well, we were talking about the Astra a second ago, so I'll just be a bit careful with different brands here.
That's very good. Let's keep it on point. You're absolutely right.
But no discount, as it turns out.
Yeah.
No friends and family. The way I personally operate is I was, to your point, a graduate 25 years ago. So we have something close to 127 graduates in our building. So remember, about 1,100 people, over 10% are graduates. And my job in all of this is to bring Williams to a different place, bring it to a very solid place, win world championships, and then hand the reins.
Like a custodian of the team, if you like, as opposed to sort of the boss final type thing.
That's the way I see it fundamentally. And that doesn't mean I'm going anywhere, I hope, in the next 5 or even maybe 10 years.
Sure.
But you have to be investing in that future growth because I won't be here for forever. I love it to bits, but I don't think anyone wants me when I'm struggling to move around, still running this organisation.
If you're winning, they will.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll be like, give him more oxygen. We need to know what the strategy is for the weekend. You mentioned the drivers earlier. Williams have 2 excellent drivers.
Correct.
In Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Both different drivers, one more experienced than the other, but both extremely talented. How important are they as drivers individually, but they're also together as a team, as a duo?
So the bit that everyone sees is them driving around the track, and they're incredible at doing that. But the real strength they both have is out of the car and helping us basically improve the system. So an example of that was I was in the factory yesterday with Alex, who did 8 hours working on this weekend, Silverstone, but also what we're doing in 2026.
Wow.
And they're driving the direction that our engineers are basically pointing towards. So they're the most expensive sensor, but probably the best sensor that we have in the car is the way to think about it. And they become leaders. And the astonishing bit is they become leaders at the age of 20, where just 20 or 30 of their words are incredibly powerful for either motivating or directing the team in the right direction. So You need two of them. The next bit is you need two of them that have a synergy with each other. If you have two of them pointing in opposite directions, you're in trouble because you just don't know which way to turn.
Yeah, but you say that, but that seems like absolute common sense. So you have engineers who have the engineering capability, and you have drivers who know how to actually drive it and compete. So the logic says you put those two together.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not asking you to name names, but does the scenario exist in the sport, or has it existed where those two worlds have been different? Engineering and drivers have been separate?
Without question.
Really?
Yeah, it definitely exists.
But that's crazy.
It is indeed.
It's like the engineers making the studio and me using the studio every day. We had conversations. Can it do this? Can I have it do that? Could you do that? And he's like, yeah, but we can do that as well. Oh, that's great. We did. It was a conversation.
Absolutely. But it's perhaps less in the last 10 years, but more before then. Drivers have almost had to be mercenary because you survived by beating your teammate. That was your first and foremost focus. Not building the team up, not making the team faster.
I get really uncomfortable with that.
Really?
I get really uncomfortable, and I end up shouting a lot at the TV, going, no, because any second they clip each other, they're both off.
Yeah,
agreed. I mean, I've been there enough in my lifetime. There was one just a few weekends ago, not relating to us either. But the difference to what you're asking is Carlos and Alex. Williams is more important than me. It's more important than Carlos, and it's more important than Alex. All three of us are basically working towards a goal of making this into a championship level. When we're there, we'll still create a construct that they can fight each other and race, but in a way that is supportive of the team, not against the team, to your point.
Yeah.
And that's I would say, the right way of doing it.
There are cameras on you from Formula One.
Yes.
There are cameras on you from Netflix for Drive to Survive.
Yes.
So when a competitive driver spins off, how have you learned to go, yes, in your face, get in, without that showing on camera?
It will surprise you, but I pride myself on being what I hope is a great sportsman. So in that circumstance, I don't take much pride from it, fundamentally, because the same can happen to you about 30 seconds later. That is the nature of our sport.
That's a fair
so the
point.
good news is not hidden. Just I do feel for other teams when they go through a bit of a crap time. We have our own fair share of it. We did last weekend as well.
Yeah, because there are some people, some famous people in the sport that do like to revel other people's. But we won't name any names. But good morning, Christian, if you're listening.
But for clarity, that was Chris.
Can I run through some silly questions with you before we let you go? All right, let's do some silly questions. The British Grand Prix, there are hundreds of thousands of people going, and they will love every second of it, and they will have a brilliant time. You are working. Can you enjoy it?
Yes. Yeah. So there's a Silverstone, this is particular to Silverstone. There's a central stage where I'll be on there this weekend as well, and then I'll immerse myself in about 50,000 people. Right. And I enjoy it because you see the happiness on everyone's faces. They're there to celebrate the sport, which for me, that's why I do it. I'm really impassioned by the sport. I spent my whole career in it and will spend my whole career in it. And so that is how I get my enjoyment out of it. The second is, and this is again Silverstone, if you take your headphones off, so we all wear noise cancelling basically headphones so we can focus on talking rubbish on the pit wall. In Silverstone, you can hear if there's been an overtake or an accident about 2.5 kilometres away on the other side of the circuit because the crowd just screams their lungs off.
Yeah.
And I love it. So answering your question, yes.
That means he's getting leather tonight watching Sam Fender.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Very quickly. Have you ever been on a speed awareness course?
No.
Okay. Are you now friends with Brad Pitt?
He knows my name.
Oh,
that'll
but
do.
I don't think we're into the friend zone yet.
Right.
You are stuck in a lift with one other Formula One driver, that's not one of yours,
Yep.
and one other team principal.
Yep.
If you had to be stuck, which team principal, which driver would you be stuck with?
I'd bring Fred Vasseur. He is hilarious. You don't need much to get him going. So he's brilliant. And it would be Lewis, just because he and I have a real friendship that we cemented many years ago, and enjoy spending time with him.
Did you ever go in his red plane?
No, he sold it.
I did.
For. And that's interview.
That's so
really nice.
I did, Jay.
Yeah, it's really lovely. It's really lovely. Do you get any say in which hotel you stay at on a race weekend?
Yes, but I don't really care, so
Right.
I just let someone else deal with it.
Okay, all right. Premier in it is.
Absolutely. Book that one.
You have a young driver program at Williams.
Yes.
I'm going to do something really nice now.
Oh, yeah.
Reese Owen
That's it.
is 13 years old,
Yep.
and he wrote us a letter a few years ago, and he was into karting and all of that. And we said, right, Reese, when we gave him a mention, I said, when you make it to Formula One as a professional driver, the deal is we'll support you all the way, but you have to fly us out to Monaco on a private jet. This is when you're earning the big bucks. And we've stayed in touch with him. He recently just drove at Blyton Park, and he did his first car test.
Brilliant.
With Dan Lloyd sat in the passenger seat. And Reese, on his first test, finished 2 seconds off the lap record.
He did.
Not bad.
If you keep one eye on him,
Yep.
and he ends up being a professional driver for Williams, just cut me in.
Yeah.
So just to be really clear on this, so you've got two management arrangements. First one is the private flights from Monaco, one-off or every year?
Every year.
Every year. And the second
Did
is...
we mention that I want a ticket for that as well?
Yeah.
Right,
Right,
okay. I mean, all I'm just going to advise is that you get the management deal up front.
Yeah. If he ends
true.
up being the next Lewis and you get him because of me,
Sure. No, I'm hearing you.
don't forget.
I've
Hamper at Christmas at the very least.
So Don next to me's brought him up, so I've now got an eye on him. What I'll say is this: we our program now, we have the earliest we bring them in is 10 years old.
Wow.
It's extraordinary, but their professional career starts at age 6 or 7, and then you wait a few years to see how they develop, and they come in at 10. So there is every opportunity, because we are looking for the very best talent that is out there. And as you saw last year, and as you'll see with some of our juniors, we invest in them because it's a real proposition for getting in the Formula One car.
Of course.
I think Reese has every opportunity. Keep going. Need to effectively participate. I assume it's Formula 4 in the UK Championship. He's the right age.
Okay, very quickly before we go, I am an amazing DJ live. I'm offering myself up on a first come, first served basis to be the official DJ of a team.
Wow.
This is huge. This is interesting.
I think Williams need a DJ.
Sure.
I can't do every race, but I can make myself available for a lot of them.
Yep.
Maybe every other one or something. I've got a life. I'm not just a machine.
Yeah.
Jesus, James. Just bear it in mind, and then let me know when you're ready to make an offer.
I think there we might have something that we can sort out.
Oh, yeah, you do.
That's good.
And then, Silverstone, what would you like for Williams this weekend?
We've got the car pace to get both cars in the points. Simple as this: 2 cars in the points, and the momentum really exists in our sport, and it's just perhaps pushing away some of the dire accidents and otherwise we've had for the last few races, and then focusing on moving forward. So 2 cars in the points, completely realistic. The only thing with Silverstone is we've come from luscious sunshine, and as I said, it is raining today, and it will rain. For all those going, bring an umbrella. It's going to rain across the weekend.
Finally, we got Jenson Button on the show later this morning.
Yep.
Do you have any questions for Jenson or anything you'd like to pass on?
What was his favourite time? So he and I won our first World Championship together, first race together as well. What's his favourite memory of us and me in that period of time? So there you go, put him on the spot.
Oh, that's nice.
And then the second question for him is, what time did you finish celebrating after you won your championship in Brazil? And I know the answer to that, so I want to see how truthful he is.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get you to write down what the actual answer was. So there you are, Jenson. Answer now. Really pleasure to meet you. Absolutely lovely chatting with you.
Thank you, everyone.
Come back anytime you like, and have a great weekend.
Yeah, good luck. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Vowles.
Yeah.
Get to Silverstone.
I'm off.
Radio X.